in the 40 years that I've been in business, we've ever had a rock like this thrown at us. This government, they do not want to support small businesses. We're knocking out a whole group, 1/3 of our customers that we won't be able to look after. That's not good. And that's what shits me off, because it's all our fish.
You're going to be paying $60 for that bit of steak. And it's the same with the bit of nanagai or the bit of Jewfish.
We might have to stomach smaller pieces of fish. Hopefully we can keep frying fish and not chicken.
Boil up some chicken legs. Welcome to the Hooked Pod. I'm Chunk.
I'm the Chippy, and we're here at Hooked on Middleton Beach in Albany, Western Australia, and we thought we'd go for a little run through of what we've been doing over the last few months. It's our summer down here in Western Australia, and there's been a lot of changes. We've been really busy. We've had a fantastic, I suppose 4 or 5 weeks of summer so far. We've got a lot to go, and we just wanted to update everyone on exactly what's happening down here, exactly what's happening to our fish stocks and the bans that have come in, and all about, the extra money we've now got to pay for fish. Hopefully customers will come through the door even though they've got to pay exorbitant amounts of money, and there's nothing we can do about it. Chunk, tell us what's been going on over the summer months.
Well, first of all, now that you have to pay more for fishing, etc., what a special way for the government to congratulate you on 10 years of ownership of your shop.
Well, thank you very much for that. That's a great birthday present. Yep, we're coming up to 10 years in May, and we are going to have some celebrations. We will have some giveaways. It won't be Jewfish, nanagai, or what's the other one? Pink snapper.
Yes.
We'll be giving away gelato probably. Now, if people don't know, and I'm sure you'd have to be living under a rock not to know what's happened in Perth. Couple of weeks before Christmas, the Labor government decided in all their wisdom that there's no fish out there anymore. Everyone's got to stop fishing for 900 kilometres. And in 21 months, with the demersal ban, that means the wrecks can get back fishing and no more commercial. And that means people like us who've got small businesses in Western Australia, we're all going to be paying a lot more for our great premium fish that we've been using for a long time.
We can still get it though, which is a big thing.
Yes, we can still get it, but the issue is now Perth's going to be so short of fish, we're going to have to pay a lot more, because the fishermen will send it to Perth if we don't pay the prices that they can now get. So it just hasn't made it more difficult for the people up in the CBD or, the Perth area. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for us, for our customers, people who want to go to a nice fine dining restaurant. You're going to get a lot more barramundi. You're going to get a lot more, even gold band sold a lot. We use gold band, but even that's going to get scarce.
The demand has gone through the roof.
And that's not just for the 21 months of the demersal ban for recreational fishers. That is permanently for commercial fishers from Augusta up into Kalbarri.
Kalbarri, yeah.
So fish, and we've already felt it now. We had our first load the other day, 30% more. There's more to come. There's nothing we can do about it. We hope people will support us, support small businesses in Western Australia, which this government, they do not want to support small businesses, and they've already shut down that many. There's so many more people unemployed now. And if you want to sell a fishing boat that $200,000-$300,000, even up to $500,000, good luck trying to sell one, because there's going to be a lot more on the market now. And I know of 2 or 3 already, and already our fish is going up. That's going to put the pressure on all our other stocks of fish, even, King George whiting and flathead that we use. And, if it's not demersals, it's pelagics, and they're all going to go up because we've got so much less fish that we can use. And Chunk, I don't think economically that is a great thing for our business. So diversification is about the only thing that we can come up with.
Yeah, we do have to get a bit creative. So what that entails, we don't really know just yet. A lot of brainstorming.
We're working on it. Maybe smaller pieces of fish. We might have to stomach smaller pieces of fish, and for a price that's 2/3 of what it is now, something like that.
Yeah, to keep it affordable to the consumer.
And the other issue is the amount of fish that we need. We probably go through a fresh fish, maybe 20 tonne a year. Hopefully that doesn't dry up to 10 tonne a year. We know that there's going to be more restrictions down here. You know, I've been looking at Mount Barker chicken recently. You never know, we might have to head in that direction, but hopefully we can keep frying fish and not chicken.
Boil up some chicken legs. No.
Anyway, what else has been happening while we've been down here? It's not all doom and gloom. We've had a pretty good summer. Just because, you know, our first load of fish in, demersal fish has gotten a lot more expensive. That sort of puts a downer on things, but it's not the end of the world for us.
No.
We're going to keep telling people out there. Hopefully people will support all the small businesses around Western Australia, and hopefully we can all stay afloat. If you're in small business, you have to innovate all the time.
Yeah.
You always have competition in small business, especially when you're in retail, and we're in the retail sector, also the hospitality sector. So if you're not got your foot ahead of other people, you can get yourself in trouble. So this is something that we always work on all the time, innovate. And if you can work out different ways of making an income, use the premises that you have and make the most out of it. We're in that situation at the moment with these bans. We've got to look further afield. We've got to really work on our margins, work on what we use every fish for, get more out of every fish like we're doing now. We're doing dog treats out of the shark skins, and also the cartilage out of the shark. More and more, if you're in small business, there's always pressures on you from the government, from taxation, federal government, you know, superannuation, wages are going up every year. And if you want to keep your margins and you want to be profitable, you have to keep working on it. So keep innovating, and we'll stay afloat.
The dog treats have been a good little thing, you know. They're only just starting to really take off.
They are. They're good for the dogs.
Yeah, you know. I mean, it's obviously good for us. We don't have to pay for stuff to go to the bin, but
good for dental health.
That's it. But it's for their arthritis, the dogs. It's
arthritis, and you know we don't have to send that waste to landfill. Then we can actually make $1 out of it, and we can help out the pets in our areas. Now, down here in the Great Southern, there are going to be restrictions on our fishermen as well. That hasn't come in yet. Our fish has only gotten more expensive because there's a lack of fish in Perth now, and the prices have gone up already. So in months to come, there's talk from the fishermen that the wetliners, who go out hooking for us, that April to September is going to be a closure for them, which we just can't work out why. I mean, you get some on either side of that, September, April, there's a couple of good months there that you can actually go fishing down here when the very light winds, the seas are, you know, the swell is not too high, and we can catch a bit of fish, and that's around Easter time, and that's also around the start of spring when we start to have September school holidays and we need fish. So why they're going to do that, we don't know. They're going to leave it to 6 months fishing in the more windier months of the year, leading up to Christmas, worst time to go fishing because of the easterlies and right through our Christmas holidays. Very hard to believe, and why they would only let them fish during that period. And also quotas before 2028. We don't know what that's going to be yet. So we'll keep everyone posted, and we'll try and find out what's going on. There is a forum down here in January 29th, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people there and we can find out a bit more information. I don't think in the 40 years that I've been in business, or, you know, with my father in business and that back in the early days, that we've ever had a rock like this thrown at us. And the increase, you know, of your purchases for your business to go up that much in one hit, because it just doesn't happen.
No.
Unless something's taken off the market and you have to go and buy, you know, something else completely different, which is going to cost you twice as much. I mean, that doesn't usually happen. I mean, we've just had an increase with our hake, which is, you know, for our budget-friendly people. We've just had, I do know, it hasn't happened yet, but we will have an increase in our mackerel price from up north because there's going to be more demand put on that. That hasn't happened yet.
But you couldn't get mackerel one week, could you, when you did your orders?
Just recently, I couldn't. I don't know why. So they've changed to a different supplier of mackerel, Spanish mackerel, which we get, up in the tropics from Darwin all the way around to Broome. I'm not sure. There are licenses for sale, but there usually always is. And we don't know what's going to happen in the future. The trawlers are all being banned, 140 people losing, but they're going to court with the government about that. But hopefully there's more trapping done up there because the fish is going to we need the fish because the demand is high for it. The amount of restaurants that we have, the amount of fish markets, the amount of fish shops, the amount of fish and chip shops, the amount of restaurants.
Yeah, none of
there's
that's
talk from guys up there already, wholesalers, to say that, they're looking elsewhere for the fish and they'll definitely be looking down here.
There's two different types of people. You see a problem and you deal with it and you try and make a good situation out of it. Or
that's right.
You're a person that just pushes a problem away and just goes, I won't deal with that.
One of the biggest problems in our business is that you have different socio-economic groups of customers. So you have the budget-friendly ones, you have the middle, and then you have the people who don't mind spending whatever when they go out for a meal. Now, we're still quite cheap compared to a la carte restaurants. We're a fish and chip restaurant. But we do have premium fish. So the problem is we can't always sell hake for the budget-minded, mackerel, cobbler, flathead to the middle, group of people who spend not as much as your more affluent people. But the problem is we're knocking out just about or putting the price up of our premium fish all in one hit by a lot. So if we were to knock out that part of our business,
that's a big hit,
and say, let's just not do that fish, we're knocking out a whole group, 1/3 of our customers that we won't be able to look after.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Not of that particular group, no.
My philosophy in business has always been to look after every single person who walks through your door. And you should try and do that, because if you can't get every single customer, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So you need to we've always been able to look after every single customer who's walked in the door. And, of course, there's 1% that you can never look after. But and that's always been my mantra ever since I started in business, 40 years ago. You have to be able to look after. And we always have those points in our business where we can look after. You can come in and get a nuggets and chips. You can come in and get a kids' fish and chips. You can come in and get a beautiful, piece of hake, white-fleshed fish that's caught in 400 metres of water, in very cold water. And then you can either have a piece of dewy, you can have a piece of pink, you can have a piece of 8-bar cod, nanny, and chips and salad, all for $40.
Yeah.
Which is still well under what you're going to pay for a good bit of steak or, a really top-class pasta in a restaurant. They're $45, or steaks are now $50 to $60,
Yeah, that's
So
exactly right,
We've still got a relatively cheap meal for everybody, but you just can't take out one whole section and say, well, okay, we're not going to do that anymore because people aren't going to buy that at those ridiculous prices. So
no, you are dead right there, especially with the top end,
this is the problem that we're going to have.
Yeah, but, you go out to a steakhouse, for example, and you're expecting that you're going to be paying $60 for that bit of steak.
You are.
And if it's great and you have no issues with it, then you're never going to complain. And it's the same with the bit of nanagai or the bit of jewfish or the bit of pink snapper, you know.
But our nanny's turning into Wagyu nanny now.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I want to be able to look after all the people who come in without people complaining about prices for a nice piece of fish that's caught straight out the front here in our pristine water.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe that this government wants to cut things back that much. And like I said, our restrictions haven't even come in down here yet.
No.
And it's going to get worse and worse. The price is going to get higher and higher, and there's going to be a lot less fish, you know. And, yeah, that really scares me. We have to keep fighting the government to get our fish back. And one of the funny things that the government said, and the minister has said this, and also the Premier, is that resource out there in that ocean is everybody's resource. Well, you tell me how everybody is going to be able to use that resource when only the recreational are allowed to go fishing in 21 months' time.
Yeah.
What about all the people in nursing homes? What about the people in hospitals? What about the people who can't afford a $50,000 or $100,000 boat? What are they going to eat? Why can't they eat that resource? You can't catch them, all the demersal fish, off the shore, which is what they're allowing people to do now, unless you got a $4,000 drone. And I mean, even that's difficult.
Yeah.
So
that's not
that resource that they're talking about, it's everybody's resource here in Western Australia, but they're going to give it only to the recreational people. They're not going to give it to the commercial people who feed all the people in this state. And that's what shits me off, because it's all our fish. It's not just recreational fish, and they still don't know how many fish the recreational people catch. And that's what really shits me off, because our businesses need that fish to feed the rest of the people in this state who can't go demersal fishing. Understand that?
I don't think they ever will.
No.
They never will.
Don't just give it to one part of our community. Everybody still needs to eat it. And what you've done is made sure that only the voting public up near Perth are going to be able to have it. And the rest of the people in the country are losing their businesses and also losing their fish resources.
We're fortunate that we can make something of it. But we're going to do it in a fucking hard way.
Well, the one thing that we never do is go backwards.
No.
Think backwards. You've got to think forward, and you've got to get on with it and do something about it. But we can also protest against it. And that's what we're allowed to do. And that's what we're doing. And we want to let everybody know that we're not happy about it, because it's going to affect many, many businesses in this state. And small businesses employ the most people in the whole of Australia. And if you don't know that, every time you go to the service station, or every time you go out for takeaway, or every time you go and buy anything, it's all small business. And whenever they make changes like this, that's all they're doing, is hurting the people out there. And small businesses have got it hard enough now with everything they've got to do, everything they've got to pay for. Insurances getting higher and higher, taxes getting higher, all the wages, all the super, workers' comp is getting higher and higher. Everything's getting higher and higher, and we've got to find ways of paying for it and then actually having a profit for ourselves.
Mm.
They're ill-informed to start with.
Labour and primary industries, you know.
They don't have all the facts. They reckon they have. They're depending on a department that doesn't have all the facts. And we know that. I've talked to so many people, and they will tell you that there are the fish numbers out there that were out there and have been out there for quite some time.
Mm.
If you don't have all the numbers of the recreational and the commercial, how can you make a decision
You cannot make an informed
on
decision.
how many fish are caught, where they're caught?
No.
You can't.
That's the most annoying thing, you know.
And they're actually giving the fish back to the recreational fishers in 21 months' time, when there's going to be a huge amount of fish out there after 2 spawnings.
No.
And they're taking it off the commercial. Now, the commercial are the ones they actually do have the numbers for, on how many fish they catch and what species and whereabouts.
And do everything right to look after the ecosystem.
They're paying their fees, their licences, their insurances. Well, you name it, there's 50 things they've got to pay to get out there just to go fishing.
Because they're small business.
They're small business. Exactly right. And they're giving it back to the wrecks. Why do you reckon they're giving it back to the wrecks? Because the wrecks are a lot more than commercial fishermen, and there's a lot more votes there to get.
This episode is sponsored by Hooked on Middleton Beach, twice voted Australia's best fish and chips, 2018 and 2024.